This is the 2024 Mazda MX5 RF Club Sport. I lovingly call it the Miata. They don't call it that anymore, but there are some upgrades for this year, including different headlights, some interior changes, and updated suspension, more safety features, and it's still a blast to drive. Let's take a closer look. There are some new tweaks to this vehicle for 2024, including the LED headlights and taillights. The optional equipment on this vehicle is part of an appearance package, which includes the front air dam, a rear lip spoiler, rear bumper skirts, and side sill extensions. All of that is no charge and part of that Club Sport package. This is a new color for this year. It's Zircon Sand Metallic. It's sort of a light green, so I had to be careful not to shoot it in front of a tree because it kind of blended in. It's very earthen looking, but it is a cool color. Matches really nicely with the black interior. There are 6 exterior colors and 2 interior colors, as well as 2 trim levels, which is the Club and the Grand Touring trim. The MX5 rides on 17-inch alloy wheels with Potenza tires and Brembo brakes. Bilstein shocks, updated steering, and updated suspension makes this car even better. The MX5 is available with a soft top, although I prefer the hard top, which is the RF. And it goes down pretty quickly, and that roof tucks nice and tightly in, and also gives a really quiet ride with the hard top versus the soft top. The MX5 Club is the more expensive version of the Miata RF, and it includes the optional Brembo brakes, BBS wheels, and Recaro package as standard equipment. The Club is for the maximum handling, and the Club trim is a built-to-order package. All MX5 RF models include the shock tower brace under the hood, which stiffens the chassis for better handling, limited slip differential enhancements for traction, because that's what this is all about, and of course that weight transfer from the front to rear under acceleration, sport-tuned suspension with Bilstein shocks, track-specific drive mode as well. That aero kit does come with the Club package and heated black Recaro seats. The warranty on the MX5 is 3 years, 36,000 miles. Coming around to the back, you'll see that our Club Sport has the additional wing and LED taillights, MX5 and Sky Active, which is their engine line, and the black trim across the bottom. Really nice looking car, well balanced, and it's small. It fits into literally anybody's garage. Under the hood of the MX5 is a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine with 181 horsepower and 151 pound-feet of torque, backed by a 6-speed manual transmission and an optional automatic for those who want the paddle shifters, and that's in the Grand Touring only. 29 miles to the gallon combined. Rear-wheel drive is the only way this comes. Curb weight's only 2,470 pounds and rides on 205/45 R17 tires. Check out the turning radius. And it's tight. Check that out. Woohoo! You can have a lot of fun with this car. I love a convertible on a day like today. Of course, I live in the upper half of the country, so that means I'm sort of limited on the days that I can actually take one of these vehicles out and have some fun. But I wouldn't mind having the MX5 in my garage. So there's some improved handling features, improved suspension, as well as the new track mode, which you can turn on or turn off. And you've got additional safety features that are standard on this vehicle, and that's an improvement for 2024. What I love about this car is you can take it for a cruise, you can put the top up, go to the grocery store, you could use it year round. It is rear-wheel drive, put some snow tires on it. You would have no problem. This would be a super fun car for year-round. But if you want a more spirited drive, one of the things you can do with this vehicle is take it to an autocross, and that's where this vehicle really shines. It is small, it is light, it's got a short wheelbase, and the handling improvements make this vehicle easier to drive. Not that it was difficult before, but it gives it better traction. You've got the new shocks, the new suspension components, the improved steering. Of course, you've got the differential has changed, as well as that race mode. So I've been driving it around in race mode. You can drive it around in the non-race mode. There's a button on the left side of the steering wheel for that. But in front of you, what you see is real gauges, which I really appreciate, because a lot of these new vehicles, everything's digital, and if something fails, you may not be able to even see your speedometer. This vehicle is well designed, it is purpose built, and with that 8-inch center screen, you've got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. I'm still not a fan of the no touch screen, which is one of the features that I think should be in every car, but Mazda doesn't believe that's the case. They want you to use the dials. This is the same interface or similar to that of a BMW iDrive, so if you've done that before or used it in any way, shape, or form, you'll get pretty comfortable with it. It's just harder to get to different stations that you want. But overall, the ride for this vehicle is pretty comfortable. I mean, it is not a rough ride like you would expect in some of the competitive sports cars. It is very well connected to the road. It handles really well, and the safety improvements should give you a lot more confidence than you might have had otherwise. I personally like this RF hardtop, not because it feels like there's a roll bar behind me, but also because it allows you to park your vehicle someplace where you might have maybe higher theft of vehicles, and they're not going to be cutting the top, but a hardtop gives you the best of both worlds. I'm a huge fan of the 3 pedals. Really makes you feel like you're engaged with the vehicle rather than an automatic, which to me, although it's fine, but if you don't know how to drive 3 pedals, or maybe you have someone in the family who's not good at it, take the time to learn it. It's a different experience. It's also a great security system because a lot of kids don't know how to use 3 pedals. We get to use these vehicles for a week and then take a good assessment of what we think of the vehicle. I have to say, Mazda still builds the best vehicle for the money is this Miata. They've got other great product as well. And it's funny, years and years ago, I owned a 1981 Mazda RX-7. It was a well-used car because I wasn't driving in 81. But I will tell you, this vehicle reminds me of that. It is that fun to drive sports car that makes you smile, that makes you want to just keep driving it, go get an ice cream, whatever it is that you want to do. You want to drive this vehicle as much as you can, especially while the weather's beautiful like it is today here in Buffalo. Cargo space is limited on the MX5. It's only 4.5 cubic feet of storage. Your tire inflation kit is right there. And it does have a deep well, which is nice if you're looking for putting a few more items in the trunk. There are some pros and cons to the 2024 Mazda MX5. On the pros side, great steering, great improvements, lots of new safety, technology. Love the fact that there's a manual transmission because a lot of these vehicles have already transitioned to automatics, including the Porsche. Come on, an enthusiast car is supposed to have 3 pedals, and this does, which makes this car super fun to drive. Then the RF doesn't sacrifice anything when you move from the base Miata into this RF. I think this is the one to get with the hardtop. Personally, you have a nice quiet ride versus a soft top, which can be a bit loud. One other factor about the hardtop is its security. If you've got a soft top that can easily be cut, this gives you that little extra bit of security. There is limited space, not just for storage, but in trunk space, but that's some of the things you give up because what you get is that horsepower to weight ratio, making this vehicle too much fun to own. Some of the competitors in this category are the Mini convertible, the Mustang convertible, which is a much larger car and certainly more expensive, the Chevy Camaro, which unfortunately is being discontinued, but this vehicle really is in a sweet spot because it doesn't really have a lot of competition. This leaves this vehicle in a sweet spot by itself when all you're going to have is the Mustang, which is a little bit more expensive, and that Mini convertible, which is a lot more expensive than the Miata. When it comes to the price for the 2024 Mazda MX5 RF Club Sport, the way you see it here, this vehicle came in at $40,000. You can get into an entry-level MX5 for $28,900, but of course, as you start adding on all the things that you want, it gets to be a little bit more expensive car. But I think you're getting great value for this vehicle, considering what's available out there today. Very few convertibles, very few hardtop convertibles, and certainly something that's easy to afford and easy to insure. If you're thinking about buying the MX5, take it for a test spin as well as all the competitors so you can see what you're getting for your value. Of course, there's also BMW and a couple other vehicles that are in this competitive set. But this is really the best buy in this segment for that small, compact convertible. Check with your insurance agent as well because you're going to find different rates across the board. Lots of factors there as well as your interest rate. Don't forget to check with a credit union. You'll probably get your best pricing. If you have any additional questions about the MX5, put them down below. If you own one of these cars, old or new, we'd love to get your feedback and start that conversation. If you got value from this video, make sure to like and subscribe. You can support my channel by buying me a cup of coffee. The link for that is down below. Or you can share, you can like, and you subscribe, and click that little bell for notifications. We got a lot of cool product coming that we want to show you and some great information. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Lauren Fix. We'll see you next time.